And so today's video is how does an off-grid Wallapini greenhouse hybrid do in this much heat? I wish it would have hit 100 today for this video, but they said it's gonna be like one of the hottest days of the year. So here you go. So you know when people say, hey, your cows are out, it's always a joke and you immediately check your zipper, right? Nope. That would be Splash and Shasta. I got a call from my coworker, then I got a call from my good friend wondering if we're missing some cattle. So, you know, while we wait for Shasta and Splash to get home, I want to introduce today's video. Today is going to be the hottest day of the year. We're already at 95 degrees. I'm on my lunch hour. So I'm going to come back to the greenhouse at the peak heat and I'm going to show you temperatures inside and outside of the greenhouse. Can this off-grid greenhouse truly handle 100-degree temperatures? Coming up. Welcome back to the homestead. I tell you what, it is hot. It is so hot. It's actually a little after 5 and it's cooled down to 94. So we got up to 96 today. My truck told me it was over 100, but I think the best temperature reading was that today we were at 96, 97 degrees. And so today's video is how does an off-grid Wallapini greenhouse hybrid do in this much heat? I wish it would have hit 100 today for this video, but they said it's gonna be like one of the hottest days of the year. So here you go. It got up to 97. We're gonna go inside the greenhouse and I'll be able to give you some readings of how hot it is. And I wanna share with you my approach, or the greenhouse's approach to staying cool. Because I've said this many times, the twin nemesis of any greenhouse is too much heat in the summer and aphids. And so, all right, well, welcome to the greenhouse. Actually, it does not feel bad in here at all right now. So once we get to this time of day, the sun is that way. So it's like directly overhead, but then that way. Sorry, you can't see me. And I was here this afternoon and it was hot because we had the sun directly overhead and that intensity, you know, even if it's hot outside, that matters, yes, but the intensity of the sun is the big factor. So right now it's pleasant. I'll go give you a reading here shortly. But I kind of want to show you as we go the growth in this heat, because we will get, you know, pretty close to 100 degrees in the worst of times inside the greenhouse, but we have so much ventilation that the plants absolutely love it. And right now we are 87 degrees. That's pretty good. So again, the reason is that the sun's no longer here, it's over there, and we don't have that intensity coming into the greenhouse. So we're already cooled down to 87. The high in the greenhouse today was 94. Now there's a reason I'm really excited about 94 degrees when it was 96 or 97 outside. Because last year we were trending, you know, upwards of 4 to 5 degrees hotter than outside. That is success. Because again, this greenhouse has no fans, no electricity, no cooling outside mechanical cooling mechanism. We're just dealing with our other approaches that are off grid. And so we're a little bit cooler than we were last year. Now, why? Well, last year at this time, the greenhouse was only 15 days old. And so we did not have even close to this amount of plant mass. So there's a couple of approaches to cooling off our greenhouse, and the second one that we'll talk about is plant mass, meaning the amount of plants with the amount of water that you have in each of those leaves. I mean, I wish you could just be in here and feel this. I mean, we've got leaves everywhere and all of those leaves are filled with water. And I liken it to a swamp cooler. You know, look at these bananas. Like this big old banana tree is just, I mean, you can just feel what my family was all here Sunday because Devin had his farewell for his mission. And they came in here and they're just dying And one of them grabbed this banana, like, you can just feel the water in here. You can, like, it's just crazy. All of these plants have water because that's their natural way of cooling themselves down. Well, just like a swamp cooler has that water coming down the side of the swamp cooler pad, and then the air passes through and it cools things down. When you have plant mass inside your greenhouse, I'm telling you, you come into my greenhouse and tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. For some reason, this thing works. And I'm telling you that plant mass and the shade canopy is one of them. So yeah, the plants give you shade, but they give you plant mass. They give you lots and lots of water in the air to cool down that hot air. Now the second thing, I kind of have these all reversed. So the first thing I was going to talk about was the fact that we have an 18-inch stem wall in front of the greenhouse. Now in the winter time, that is completely dropped down. I have an insulated curtain that gives me an R5, R5 to block the cold outside. Well, in the summer, that thing is up the whole time. So we've had that rolled up. Even when we were like in the high 40s, we just rolled it up. We're just like, we want to be off grid, low maintenance. So that thing's been up the whole time, and that allows 18 inches by 103 feet of air input from outside. And we know the outside air was hot. It was like 97 degrees outside. Well, that hot air comes in, but the even hot air goes up to the vents. So you see a big vent up there, and then I've got another big air vent above my kiwi plant here. Yeah, you can't see them. So just trust me, it's a big air vent. Look at the birds. They want some attention. Will you guys give them some attention real quick? They're up in that high window. Can you see them right there? I can't zoom in on selfie mode, but yeah, they're obnoxious. So we have the vents on top, and then each side of the greenhouse has a small window, an even smaller window, and a door with a screen on it. I have metal meshing on all three of those, so the birds can't get out, the pollinators can't get in. But also the big thing is this hot air can go out the side and all the way out the other side, way down there. You can't even see the other side. Is that so cool? I think it's so cool. So the result of that is we have tons of ventilation. Now, the one thing I've noticed is that some of our plants that are susceptible to blight, like your squashes, we are going to tweak that because we still see a little bit of blight, which is a side effect of moisture. And so this time of year is actually better to get rid of that blight, but we saw it kind of happening the last month when it wasn't too hot and, to dry out this air. But we know the greenhouse is going to keep humid and we want that. So are we going to have to maybe not have some of our squashes? I don't know, because I really like the squash because they give me such a good canopy. Can you guys see all of this growth? This is a tomato. I mean, it looks like a tree. So here, I'm up here. That's above me. I wish you could be here. It's cool. So I want to show you a little bit of our success, again, in the middle of heat, off grid. So if you look over here, that is an avocado baby in Utah. And it's not very tall now because when I bought it, it was like maybe 18 inches. And right now it's probably 3.5 feet. And it's growing great. Right down here is another artichoke, which has just been exploding. In fact, look at this artichoke. Do you see all these bad boys? If you see my prior videos, I'm sorry, but I nerded out on the artichokes. They were so stinking fun to me because my kids love them. So they're growing like crazy. This tomato plant was doing really good through the winter, but now that it's summer, I mean, it's just this massive explosion of awesomeness. Okay, this is a brand new addition in the greenhouse. That's a navel orange. So we have a Tangela, which we planted the Tangela 1 year ago, and This is the result of 1 year of growth in Utah in the greenhouse. Made it through last year's hot summer, the crazy cold winter, and then this really cold, really hot summer as well. So right now it's not quite 4 feet, but I'd say that it's added 18 inches of growth in a year. But look at those bad boys. Tangelas don't get too much bigger than that. So yeah, awesome. I can't wait for these tropics to be larger, and so we'll obviously get a bigger harvest. But I'm excited. I will eat that Tangelo in a slow manner and just love it. I'm not a nerd. Put in the comments if you think I'm a nerd. You can't hurt my feelings. I sat and talked to myself hours on end, saying I have a YouTube channel. So I've got broad shoulders. Brussels sprouts, I've never grown them before. I know we've talked about them, but they are doing fantastic as well. You're just gonna have to trust me because I don't think you can see the ones down there, but the Brussels are finally growing. We've highlighted this many times. The passion fruit, the one thing that's changed is, so it's not only grown all the way up the wall on the ceiling, but now, it's so difficult for you to tell, but that has grown probably, seriously, an extra 5 feet in, I'm gonna say a month and a half, maybe even a month. So I've got to take that up and over. I know you get a little bit of shade, and I know you don't want too much, but I still want that passion fruit to creep up over here and give me some sparse shade. And so that's why the passion fruit is here. Well, it's reaching toward the sun, and I love it. Why? Because it's clear full of moisture, of water, and it's cooling me down. Okay, here is another avocado. I haven't really showed you the tomatoes. Like let's show you, like tomatoes are just doing awesome. You see those? We've been eating tomatoes. These ones are actually fairly decent size. They're not huge. A little smaller than my fist, but almost enough to cover the full bread. You probably have to do 2 slices on your BLT sandwich, which we had today, by the way. And look at those. I hope Becca doesn't see those because I want those on a BLT tonight at midnight, baby. Oh, go. Bring it on. Okay. Pomegranate. Oh, sorry. Pomegranate. If you have any experience with pomegranate, will someone tell me at what point does this get substantial enough that pomegranates can grow on it? I mean, a grasshopper couldn't even land on it. Hey, look at that. Somebody just barely asked about my finches. Oh, the finches. So I talked about the twin nemesis of a greenhouse, right? The heat and the aphids. I've mentioned in other videos about the birds, but the finches eat aphids. So cool. Okay, but today we're talking about plants and how they're doing in this heat and the overall design of the greenhouse for the heat, for the summer heat. That is another orange, and that one is a blood orange. We just barely bought it. It hasn't grown yet, but it hasn't died. So in 1 year, we can have little tiny navel and blood oranges, and we're all gonna be happy. Okay, back to the design. So you notice on our winter design that we rely heavily, see them? I'm not sure if you caught any of that. I was trying to video the finches. Oh, look at this. Look at Tico. He's just out here hanging out with his ducks. Oh, yes. We kind of locked him out of the front of the greenhouse, and so you don't see him as much, but he still demands the same attention. You see the ducks and you see the lammies? See the lamb? I haven't docked their tails yet. I'm a bad person. Oh, sorry. More squirrels. Is that awesome? I mean, bean cherries are not necessarily the best, but they're still fun to eat. Ooh, sour. Don't eat while you're filming a YouTube video. Okay, so in the winter time, the earth tube is a huge deal because you need to draw freezing cold air from outside and input it into the greenhouse. Even in the winter, you're venting out. For us, we just do the top windows on each side. So venting in the winter is really important, and that earth tube becomes extremely important. Right now, in theory, that is completely shut down because I have a different approach in the summer. My approach is massive amounts of ventilation and all the moisture in the plants. So are these earth tubes spitting out any air? I mean, I'll come and feel for you. I think it probably is somewhat, but not necessarily enough to write home about. Well, we'll see. I could be just feeding you full of crap. So this is one of 12. I mean, there's a little bit of air coming through, barely. So in the summer, that's not, okay, there's a little bit more than I thought. There's a little bit of cold air coming in. But, you know, for that to truly utilize and be efficient for all the tubes, I would hook a fan up to it. But that's not what I want to do in this greenhouse. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's not the approach of the Manti greenhouse, of the Manti Homestead. Okay, so if you have other questions about the summer cooling, I mean, I'm telling you, it's not too much more complicated. I'm not holding any secrets back. Oh, the one question I do have. Right now, my thermal mass, which is the 2,000 gallons of water, that's mainly for the winter. What I don't know is those are in the shade. And so they are filled with water right now. So in theory, my theory is that they are giving us a benefit because they're going to be colder than the hot of outside, and they are clearly colder. So I'm sorry, I'm not a science geek, but I definitely would assume with my very little intelligence that these are actually creating a very good net benefit to cooling down the greenhouse because they're in the shade, they cool off all night. They're dramatically colder. They're as cold as the leaf. So I think that is also a very notable part. So I am going to flush through this water because I don't want it to be stagnant. So I'm going to water the greenhouse with it. I might create like a little tiny stream that goes on the bottom of the greenhouse. You know, just really deep soak the tropics and the tomatoes and some of the fun plants. But then next time it rains, I want to fill it all the way up. So more on that, but yeah, I think that's an important aspect of the cooling situation. Okay. Anything else you want to see? I wish you guys could talk back to me. Okay, peppers, like you can't see these in a video, but I mean, we've got peppers literally everywhere. You see those bad boys? Everywhere. I mean, they're all over. Just trust me, hundreds and hundreds of them all over. That makes it look a little bigger than it is. They're big, but not that big. And then over here, we've got more and more of these Anaheims. God, YouTube, you guys keep on messaging me right now. Thank you. Makes me want to do this video. Okay, so we've got like asparagus down here. We've got beets over here. This is a really cool, I think it's called orac, a spinach. Look at my lemon. So this is a lemon tree that we planted 1 year ago. Look at that bad boy. It's green, so it's still growing. So we got lemons, we got limes, we got pomegranates, we got dragon fruit. Oh, this dragon fruit, this right here, dragon fruit's a cactus, by the way, a cacti. So it's decided to like split off. That's really cool. I just bought at Walmart one blasted dragon fruit, and it's a yellow one, which I'm so excited because my friend who grows dragon fruit in Peru or somewhere, he says that the yellow are way better than the red. Put in the comments if you agree or disagree. I don't know, but tonight I finally get to try a yellow dragon fruit. This one is a red. The one in the back is yellow dragon fruit. So we're gonna try it tonight, baby. I'll let you know, dang it. Oh, fig tree. This is actually a new plant too. But look at my figs. I've got a fig Newton. Remember fig Newtons? I don't think I even liked figs. I just wanted one. So anyway, plant mass and fun stuff. Oh, our cherry tomatoes doing fantastic. We had, I've told you this before, but cherry tomatoes, I was using those in January, making BLTs out of them because they were just so gosh dang delicious. All right, we're back to the front. I probably missed a million plants that you may or may not have been interested in, but that is an update on plants in the middle of the worst part of our Utah summer. 97 degrees outside. Inside, the high was 94, which is huge success. Last year, we were hotter inside than outside, barely a few degrees. So far today, we kept at par with outside, if not slightly lower, without any electricity, baby. Okay, if you see those birds, man, they're like kamikazes. Do me a favor. I keep on asking you to like and subscribe, share this with your friends. We had a massive burst of subscribers to the channel. A lot of you came from Latter-day Disciples. I did a podcast on that, which if you want to hear more of like kind of the spiritual ranting of me, go to Latter-day Disciples. Megan was an awesome interview. She kept me focused, and I thought it turned out really, really good. It was an honor to be on her podcast because I think she's a brilliant talent. And she just covers a wide variety of stuff. So anyway, that will be something. I don't know. I mean, I'll share that kind of stuff on my channel. Sure. I'm not hiding it. I'm a spiritual person. I believe, baby. So if you're interested in that, but that brought a lot, that interview I did brought a lot of new subscribers, and I welcome you to the channel. But if you could do this and just cut and paste the URL up top, send it off to one or two of your friends. If all of you did that, maybe the algorithm will take me even more serious. We hit 1,000 subscribers. That's a big deal. My purpose has been to kind of awaken people to the events around us, but I do love sharing this greenhouse. I took a massive risk selling an investment property in Nauvoo, one that I loved, and we put our money toward it, and I threw everything at it. And anything I've done here, whatever knowledge or experience I have, it's yours for free. Go to YouTube, look at the playlist, how I build it, it's all there. I'll tell you when I fail, I'll tell you when I succeed, in case it benefits you. And maybe you just like looking at this little oasis because it's so cool. I'm so grateful for it. All right, and the very last thing, for those of you who made it to the end of my video, I've been mulling around the idea of doing greenhouse tours. I don't know if any of you'd be interested in that or not, but like, it's just something I'm thinking about. Possibly with my Manti cottage, I would just, you know, you could go to that platform for the vacation rental and either book a stay there or stay there with like a 1 hour, you know, private tour or something. Or maybe I just do a calendar and have my daughter help me manage it. You know, because I can't do this endlessly because I'm trying to make money in all these other places for some big projects in my life to prepare, baby. But anyway, I'm just mulling that over. So if there's any kind of interest, maybe put that in the comment as well. Okay, the last thing I'm going to end on, part of cooling down this behemoth greenhouse. On a hot day like today, we like to come in and just kind of water the plants twice. I have my plants on just a simple drip system, but now that we've gone 1 year off grid, baby, I am going to hook it up to like a timer so I can go on my phone and I can just turn the water on and even program it or just do it from the bank or whatever. But so I just turn this on. Oh, it's already on. And then turn the timer on. And then we're watering. And I like to give these poor plants just a little bit of extra love. Because if you mix all of this ventilation, mix with some great heat, mix with water, you have the explosion that is the Manti greenhouse. All right, like and subscribe. See you next video. Peace out. really a beautiful picture. That right there is a cowgirl. Kind of like her. Hey Keisha, what you doing? Don't eat that. That's for the cows. Keisha's been eating some blueberries. I love it. Like I say, only in Manti, baby.